Why cheating wife returned home from her affair, but she never expected what came next. When Sophia walked to the door that night, she was smiling like nothing was wrong. But I knew the truth. I greeted her with a cold stare and handed her a folder. "You have 10 minutes to sign the divorce papers and leave my house," I said, my voice emotionless. She barely had time to react before another woman stepped forward, Adrian's wife. The nightmare that followed made Sophia regret ever betraying me. From the moment I met Sophia, I thought we had something real. She was charming, intelligent, and ambitious, a perfect match in every way. She worked as a financial consultant, and I was an executive in luxury hospitality. Our demanding careers meant we understood each other's busy schedules. Or so I thought. The cracks started small. Sophia, who once made time for dinner every night, began working late more often. I told myself not to overthink it. Our industries were tough, and I trusted her. Then came the text. One evening, as we sat on the couch watching TV, her phone buzzed. She grabbed it quickly, laughing nervously before muting it and flipping it face down. "Who's that?" I asked casually. "Just a client," she replied without meeting my eyes. "He's been a bit needy lately." Her answer sounded reasonable, but the way she clutched her phone and tensed her shoulders told a different story. That night, doubt crept in, and it wouldn't let go. The discovery. Over the next few weeks, I noticed patterns. Sophia's late nights. A sudden increase in missed calls and texts. A coldness that replaced the warmth in her voice. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. One Friday evening, after she left for yet another client meeting, I checked her laptop. She had forgotten to log out of her email. What I found confirmed my worst fears. Dozens of messages, explicit, romantic, and detailed, about meetings at fancy restaurants and boutique hotels. The man's name? Adrian. He wasn't just anyone. He was married. And worse, he was someone I had met before at one of Sophia's work events. I remembered the way they laughed a little too much at each other's jokes. The stolen glances. It all made sense now. But I wasn't ready to confront her yet. I needed more. Setting the trap. For the next month, I became a man on a mission. I hired a private investigator, and he documented everything. Photos, videos, hotel records. There was no denying it now. And then an unexpected twist. Adrian's wife, Amal, had no idea about his double life. The irony? The man who had so boldly pursued my wife had no clue that his own world was about to collapse. I sent Amal an anonymous package, copies of the evidence I had gathered, along with a note. "You deserve to know the truth. Call me if you want to talk." Days later, my phone rang. It was Amal. A perfectly executed revenge. Over coffee at a quiet cafe, Amal. And I laid everything on the table. Her husband's deceit. My wife's betrayal. The toll it had taken on both of us. "I want to confront him," she said, her voice steady despite the pain in her eyes. "But I want to do it in a way he'll never forget." Her determination sparked something in me. "What if we confront them together?" I suggested. "They think they've gotten away with this. Let's show them they haven't." Amal's lips curled into a slow smile. "I like the way you think." And so we planned the confrontation. Sophia had told me she'd be working late again. This time, I knew exactly where she'd be, at a high-end restaurant downtown. With Adrian, Amal and I arrived early, taking a quiet corner table. Then, right on time, they walked in hand, laughing as if they didn't have a care in the world. My blood boiled, but I stayed calm. We waited until their entrees arrived. Then we made our move. I walked up to their table. "Sophia," I said coldly, "you forgot to mention you'd be dining with Adrian tonight." Adrian's smirk vanished. "And Adrian," Amal added, her voice dripping with venom, "I see you've been keeping busy." Sophia's face drained of color. "Jacob, I can explain." "You'll have plenty of time to explain," I interrupted, tossing the divorce papers onto the table. "You have 10 minutes to sign them, pack your things, and get out of my house." "Divorce?" she whispered, as if the concept was foreign to her. "You're being ridiculous." "No, Sophia," I said, my voice steady. What's ridiculous is you thinking I wouldn't find out. What's ridiculous is you throwing away our marriage for this." Adrian tried to stand, but Amal placed a firm hand on his arm. "You're not going anywhere," she said. "We're far from done." She pulled out her own folder, placing it in front of him. "Your company's board will be receiving this on Monday," she said, her tone cool. "Let's see how they feel about their CFO using company funds to wine and dine his mistress." Adrian's face turned ashen. "You wouldn't." "Oh, I would," Amal replied with a smile. "And I will." The aftermath. That night, Sophia left with nothing but the clothes on her back. The next morning, I changed the locks and had her belongings delivered to her parents' house. She called. She texted. She even showed up at my office. I refused to see her. Our divorce was finalized within months, and she walked away with far less than she had expected. As for Adrian, his life crumbled. Amal made good on her promise. His company fired him within days. News of his affair spread through their social circles. He lost his job, his reputation, and soon after, his marriage. I heard he was living in a dingy apartment, far removed from the luxury he once flaunted. Amal and I kept in touch for a while, supporting each other as we rebuilt our lives. Over time, we found peace, knowing we had taken control of a situation that could have destroyed us. Betrayal may break you, but also reveals your strength. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't just exposing the truth. It's ensuring the ones who hurt you will never forget the consequences of their actions. Because justice isn't just about what you lose. It's about what you gain when you take your power back. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Lauren's Story. Many of you who enjoy these stories aren't subscribed yet. By subscribing, you become part of a community that values deep, meaningful storytelling. Let's continue exploring these heartfelt journeys together. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you won't miss the next story.